Hi everyone. So today I want to make a Lego review of two brand new architecture sets. Um, so the first one, of course, is Tokyo, set number 21051 with 547 pieces. And the second set is Dubai, set number 21052 with 740 pieces. So those two were just released on January 1st, 2020. So again, it was just released. I believe they retail for $60 each. Even though this one, Dubai, is like it has 200 pieces more than Tokyo. But as you can see, the box has they are the same size. Um, they also weight about the same because like Dubai basically has more the small 1 by 1 pieces. That's why it has 200 more pieces. Um, but in general, they're about the same weight. That's why I have the same box. Again, it's the same architecture style boxes. Um, But here, let's look at the set itself. Of course, in the background, you can see the other skylines, cities. But of course, if you watch my other Lego architecture review, which I had done a few before, um, the special thing about my reviews is that I compare the sets with the other architecture skyline, so you can see the difference, the height difference, or the comparison, similarities, or the scale. So I think I'm the only one who's doing this. So anyway, let's look at the set itself. Let's put it over here because well, let's look at Tokyo first by itself. So this is the set, and you can look at the picture over here. um, the one, I don't know all the names, so let's look at the box itself. This is the back of the box. You can see the name of the buildings. So here you can look at it yourself. But the landmark or the most eye-catching ones here, of course, is the Tokyo Tower over here, the red one. This is the Tokyo Tower. Um, is around 300 some meters tall in real life. Is red and white, as you can see. I think is a TV tower. Um, it's not a new building. The new one, the new landmark is actually this. This is the Tokyo Sky Tree. Is 600 some meters tall in real life, which is I think over 2,000 feet. This one is over 1,200 feet. So the Tokyo Sky Tree is actually twice as tall as the Tokyo Tower in real life. But as you can see here, clearly is not twice as tall. It's only like not even a third taller. So in this case, I think Lego didn't do the perfect job in terms of scale. As you can see here, they don't line up perfectly. Those are those are not the I mean, those are soft plastics. Those pieces over here, I don't know the name of these, but they are not hard plastic. It's kind of like a rubber band. So they don't line up perfectly, as you can see. So that's one of the cons of this set is basically those columns over here. Um, Again, you can look. I don't think, yeah, there's a real picture, but it's too small to see. But the scale is definitely not very accurate, since the Tokyo Skytree over here is supposed to be almost twice as high, but here is not. But here you can see, this is one of the few Lego Skyline sets that has some landscape. So this one is actually the is it the Fuji mountain? I believe that's the name. So that's actually a mountain. Those are the snow on top of the mountain, but it's of course it's supposed to be in a distance. That's why it looks so small in this set. In reality, this mountain is like I think is around 3,000 meters tall, so which is around 9,000 feet, something like that. So it's way, way, way taller than the Tokyo Skytree. But of course, this is supposed to be in the background, and one of the few skyline sets that actually has a mountain and not a building. This is the back of it, as you can see. Not much. This is definitely not accurate if you view it from the back because the mountain it just looks out of places. Um, in this case, it's not in the background anymore. Um, but anyway, that's why you're not. This is one of the few sets that you're not supposed to view it from the back because of the mountain. And I'm not sure. Again, you can look at the pictures itself to see the name of the other buildings. But again, I'm a fan of tall buildings, skyscrapers, towers, so I don't really know the names of the smaller buildings. But again, there's some trees over here, which is really nice. Um, and then some downtown buildings. So overall, it's a pretty good set in my opinion. But now let's look at Dubai. So here is Dubai over here. So let's see how I can do this. So this is Dubai, which has 200 more pieces than Tokyo, but it looks about the same size because this one has a lot of one by one pieces, which could be, boring or repetitive to build this thing over here. A lot of one by one, the transparent blue round pieces. Um, but this one, let's look at the back of the box to see the names of the building. Of course, the most iconic building here is the Burj Khalifa, which is the currently still the tallest structure or tallest building in the world at over 800 meters tall in real life, which is, I don't know, 3,000 feet, something like that. Um, but here are the other buildings. Of course, the Burj Khalifa has appeared before it appears two times already. This is the third time it appear in a Lego architecture set. So this one over here is the second edition. I used to have the first edition, but not anymore. Um, but here, this one is actually, it's your own opinion whether it looks good or not. I think this one actually is more accurate in terms of this shape, but this one is more like modern looking. As you can see, the color is different. This is more blue. But here you can see the names of the building. Um, I'm not gonna try to pronounce those names, but the most interesting one is the Dubai frame over here, which is the simplest building ever in any Lego set. It's just a door frame in kind of gold color. This building consists of only 11 pieces. So, but it's kind of weird, Again, it's not in scale, of course. Um, as you can see over here, but but in terms of height is not too bad. The Burj Khalifa is supposed to be twice as tall as the other buildings, which is kind of accurate in this case. But this is kind of plain. The other two buildings, the whole set, they consist of just mainly blue and some white. Those are the two main colors, especially if you ignore the Burj Khalifa. Like these two building over here and this building over here, they are both like the same color. They are both white and blue. So I don't know, it's kind of plain, could be boring in the door frame and Burj Khalifa, especially if you have the old one, you might not necessarily want to buy this one. But of course, it's up to you. Again, I'm a fan of skyscrapers and tall buildings, so I have to get this set. If you haven't any Burj Khalifa before, I would definitely recommend this set. Although I actually prefer Tokyo a little bit more because of more color variation. You have red, white, blue, and the mountain and the flower. This one, in my opinion, is a slightly better set. But of course, if you have extra money, you can definitely buy both of them. So here, them side by side, and then here is the back of Dubai. Again, just like other architecture sets, the back is not the best view. Of course, that's not how they design it. You're supposed to look at it on the front. One interesting thing is about like is these two buildings. They kind of have a very special technique to build this. As you can see, it's actually two separate buildings, but they line up perfectly here in an angle. So um, yeah, it's kind of interesting if you can, look at the instructions. There's some palm trees over here. Um, but overall, those are the Dubai fountain. Again, you can look at the back of the box to see um, all the buildings names and what the structures included. But again, anyway, and this one, like, I don't know my opinion on this one, the way it was built like this. It has some special techniques, of course, but I don't know. Some people might not think it's accurate, or it might looks kinda, not too beautiful. But anyway, these are the two sets, and now let's look at the comparison. So let's compare. Let's put this over here. Um, Again, I like to do building comparison in my reviews. So here they are. Um, I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but here are all my architecture sets. Of course, I don't have some of them. For example, I don't have San Francisco. I don't have like Paris, I think. I'm still deciding whether to get Paris or not, because there's only the Eiffel Tower is the only tall buildings in that set. The other buildings are not as tall. Of course, San Francisco, again, not too many tall buildings, so I didn't get that as well. But I don't know about the future. But these are my main skylines. They all have very tall buildings. As you can see, the older Burj Khalifa is actually quite a bit taller than the newest one over here. You can see here is almost a third taller or a quarter taller than that. But this is again a stand-alone set by itself. It's around 300 some pieces, around I think $40. So if you haven't get any, I would definitely recommend the new one because it includes like five buildings instead of just one. Um, but the second generation, this one, the second one is very tall. The first one is actually about the same height as the third one. Um, but as you can see, um, is not very accurate compared to all other buildings. Um, compared to real life, this is not exactly the same scale. Some buildings are taller than actual, and some buildings are shorter than actual. But I think Lego is trying their best to capture the shape instead of the scale. That's why, that's why there's a discrepancy in terms of scale. But as you can see here, this one is Las Vegas, released a few months ago. This is New York City, and then Shanghai, Chicago. Um, so as you can see, um, most of them are, like the Willis Tower, formerly known as the Sears Tower, is very short in this case. In real life, this is actually way taller than that. It looks very small. I don't know why. Like it looks even smaller than the Empire State Building over here. So Chicago is probably the worst accurate city in terms of height or scale. Um, Yeah, the Sears Tower or the Willis Tower is just looks way too tiny. And over here, and then Shanghai. Yeah, one of my more favorite one. And then actually, I'm gonna rank it. So actually, out of all of these, my number one favorite would actually be either Tokyo or Shanghai. Um, Either one of them because they both have kind of a bit of variation in colors. As you can see, there's a bright blue over here, there's red, there's tan, there's gray. um, and also Tokyo is quite colorful. So those two are my favorite one, and then my second favorite would probably be Dubai and New York City. um, and then my least favorite one would be Chicago and Las Vegas. Well, Las Vegas is not too bad actually. It was redesigned actually, but not too many tall buildings. It's just the one tower over here, and then Chicago. Actually, I like it, but the scale is just way off. It's way too small compared to the other one. But as a standalone set, I think Chicago is not that bad. So anyway, here is the top-down view. As you can see, again, there's two Burj Khalifa over here. Um, but overall, they look pretty nice together, especially if you don't care too much about scale. It's not too bad actually. It's not like one building is like twice or three times taller than the other one. But again, um, this is the review of those two sets. So thanks for watching and have a nice day.